bring in Maria Chaudhry, Team Trader at BlackBoxStocks. Maria, thanks for joining us this morning. Welcome to the show. What is your reaction so far to how the markets have opened on this first trading day of the week after such a chaotic weekend?
Good morning. Chaotic is an understatement. So I think initially my initial reaction is we're still in a period of time where good news is bad news, and we really have to wait and see what happens. Obviously, the overnight markets rallied quite a bit, and coming into the morning, I think that the market has had an opportunity to really digest the Fed's response, and we're seeing a move in the markets as well as in secondary markets, in your bonds and your yields.
No, absolutely. Now, we know that the collapse of SVB here has caused a panic reaction, especially among traders and investors who were around during the financial crisis. President Biden has said that investors will not be covered because they took a risk here. And he said that was a calculated risk, and this is the consequences. So what is your reaction so far to President Biden's comments in this respect and what that might mean for the markets?
So I think that what investors are looking for is any sign of confidence, any sign of confidence within the banking system. So the commentary out of the president, although I think could potentially be received not so well, I think that post 2008 we have to have some kind of better oversight, or we've had better oversight from the Fed, and I think that in time we'll really see how the market's going to react.
Absolutely. Let's shift gears really quickly here and talk about the jobs report that we got on Friday. We saw, a little bit more mild than we had seen back in January here, but that, obviously some fears coming of a 50 basis point rate hike at the next meeting. However, we also have heard some indications now following the collapse of SVB that we might not see a rate hike at all. What is your anticipation based on some of the data that we've seen, as well as in the aftermath of the collapse here?
So, last week we did have a mixed jobs report, and really, even in addition to that, the market didn't really like what Jay Powell had to say. We pulled back at the prospect of that higher expected rate hike, and we didn't really get much chance to recover before we got hit with bank news. And again, we are still in a period of time where good news is bad news. And then, with that mixed jobs report, I do think that some fears were eased in regards to a 50 basis point rate hike at the upcoming Fed meeting. However, I do think that a hotter than expected inflation reading tomorrow may cause some turbulence. So in light of the weekend updates in banking, a lot of banks have actually revised their rate hike projections back down to anywhere from 0 to 25 basis points. And again, the move in the futures market really did reflect that initially. However, like you're seeing this morning, we've given up all of that overnight move, and as that Fed's plan is being processed, and also causing that move in the secondary markets.
Absolutely, Maria. And, obviously the Fed is playing a bit of a delicate game here, attempting to get inflation under control, cool down the economy without sending it into a tailspin. Obviously, we know that these rate hikes were in some way contributing to what we've seen with SVB. So going forward, what do you anticipate will happen now that we have seen the collapse of SVB? How is the Fed going to continue to attempt to get inflation under control the economy without more fallout like this?
And that's a great question, because I feel like the Fed is almost stuck between a rock and a hard place, right? Inflation is a problem. It absolutely is a problem. And I think that there's a lot of pressure for the Fed to not increase hikes at a time where we may absolutely need to increase it. So I think that with this upcoming meeting, it's going to be a big one, and we're really going to have to pay attention to the commentary that comes out of it and see how the market wants to react to it.
All right, Maria Chaudhry, Team Trader at BlackBoxStocks. Thanks so much for joining us this morning.